Hello, hello. It is Sara Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for this Moon Astrology Tarot, this time for the moon in Libra. This is midday on June 14th through the overnight hours of Monday, June 17th. So we'll say the 14th through the 16th. So all of the weekend. So this moon in Libra brings more air energy to the already heavy air energy that we have in Gemini. That's also is in between. It's the Gemini placements are between their square to Saturn and coming into their square to Neptune with this moon in Libra. And it could be trippy. It could really be trippy. I think what we need to keep in mind here is, I think I said in the Gemini new moon that this could be very good energy if you are creating or creative, and using that creativity to produce or be productive. But I also think that the illusion and the confusion is real as a motherfucker. Like, we really don't know what's going on in our world right now. And I think we need to kind of, maybe not need to, but I feel like the best thing to say here is get okay with everything, with not knowing what the hell is actually going on. This was kind of something that I came to terms with, as I went through my nomadic journey, was I don't know what's next always. And everything always lined up. Everything always worked out for me. And I kind of live by that now. It's like, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's all going to be okay. But I know a lot of people, who want to control how things go and want to control the end result, and the how it goes and the step by step and the strategic this and strategic that. And that's not always possible because that's just not how life works, right? And the more you try to control, the more you're going to stress yourself out, or the more you think that or the more you think you've got it all figured out, the more it's going to stress you out. Because the reality is, the truth is none of us actually knows anything about anything, right? That's why we have the polarity between, I mean, we could go political here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with the globe Earth versus flat Earth, right? Or the dome theory or whatever. And the reality is we don't know what this damn thing is that we live on, right? So, and there's also a lot of stuff coming out about recent events and whatnot. And so the confusion's getting real. And the other thing too is that a lot of people don't want to be with that. A lot of people cannot be or don't want to be with the idea that this world is not what they think it is, or that the circumstances aren't what they have been told that they are, right? So we get into this area of who really can critically think and critically discern what's going on, or what really just happened here, or things like that. And I'm not right or wronging anybody here, because I think that we all live in our own level of illusion, no matter what it is, right? We all get in the illusion somehow, right? We still live in the Saturnian world of authority and paying our bills and whatnot. So there is that, but then there's like this, okay, yes, I pay my bills and I do this and I do that, but I'm well aware that reality is I should get to live a joyous and peaceful life of abundance and all of the sunshine and rainbow pooping unicorns and all of that dreaminess. And we could kind of get lost in that with all of the planets squaring off with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces. We could really get lost in that with this kind of air moon, air sun, and water, the depths of the waters of Pisces. And so I think we could all kind of get lost in this like dreamy illusion of whatever story you're making up in your head, right? And to some degree, this is good because it allows us to be imaginative and flowy and creative and all of those things. But when we get lost in the illusion of relationships is kind of the easiest, right? We can all think that somebody is interested in us, and in reality, they just want to be friends, or they just want to be the acquaintance, or whatever, but we all kind of make up the story, and then we get into the nitty gritty of, oh, he texted me, oh, he did this, oh, he did that, he must really like me. When the reality is that if a man's really into you, girl, you're gonna know. You're gonna know. Okay, and all of the green flags will start occurring versus the red flags will start occurring, right? And so, but we all get lost in the illusion. We all get lost in the fog of the illusion. And not only this weekend, as we have Venus square Neptune, which the moon will trine that square, but then, we'll have Mercury and then the sun square with Neptune as they head into Cancer. And then Cancer adds like another layer of water and emotion and all of that. And so it's just kind of one of those times to not only be super clear about your mission, or at least be super clear that you trust in a higher power, as in God, source, universe, guardian angels, your spirit guides, your higher self, those sorts of things, versus maybe trusting in earthly authority figures who may act like they have your best interest, but really they're just feeding you a bunch of bullshit. Anywho. Okay, let's see what's up with the tarot. I think it's just really a good time to be in your own like sovereignty, you know, um, because this illusion that we're in right now, like I have said it so many times this year, but the confusion's only going to get worse, right? Because very shortly we are going to have Saturn retrograde in Pisces, and then we're going to have Neptune retrograde in Pisces with 2 Capricorn full moons in June and July, and I just don't think the second half of this year is going to give you clarity if you're looking and if you're victimizing yourself to the planets to give you clarity. No, you really have to determine that clarity on your own. And yeah. So good time for a good personal astrology reading if you're up for that. You want some clarity, at least in your own chart. So links below to my Calendly, links below if you would like to buy me a coffee and support my channel. That would be awesome. I appreciate you. I appreciate your likes, your comments, all of the things, your, just interaction, engagement, really just, not only helps the algorithm, but as always, it just really fills my heart knowing that people are out there listening to me and all that. So anywho, let's see what's up with this tarot. And we got the ancient feminine wisdom. Come on. Get my phone to do magical things here. Okay. Oh, we got the Knight of Starships. And this is that gal that was only on like 2 episodes. I really don't like that they used her in this deck, but whatever. And I don't even remember her name, but she was the scientist that Picard fell for. Knight of Starships, Knight of Cups in traditional tarot, so emotional, or like relationship, I want to say vigilance. I don't know if that's the right word. But the knight is usually like this often makes me think of like the savior. But I always think that it's more of the self-savior, like no one's coming to save you. No, nothing is coming to save you. And something that I have contemplated on over the last several years as this world has unfolded, as this decade has unfolded, something that's come through for me multiple times is if humans didn't have to go to work, would they have a purpose? Would they feel like they had a purpose? Would you feel like you had a purpose in this world if you didn't have all the labels of being a boss, if you didn't have the label of being a this or that, whatever label you have for your job or your role in your family or whatever, if you didn't have those roles, would you feel like you had a purpose? Would you have some hobby you could lean on that could be a transferable skill, like a yarn crafting or, something like that? Maybe you're like a closet MacGyver, something like that, right? Like we're all going to need a MacGyver at some point. We all need a MacGyver. Okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go watch MacGyver. And I'm talking the 80s MacGyver? I never even watched the newer one. I think they relaunched it a year or so ago. I never watched it. I always watched the original one. And honestly, I only really watched it because my brothers did. So, but my point is that do you have MacGyver skills? Do you have like those skills that, you could bring to a community, if you needed it? So this is like self-survival. Do you have a bug out bag? Do you have a plan in place? Are you able to function without the internet, without technology to support you, right? Like do you have those people? And these are things I think about on the regular, trust me. But anyway, that's what I feel like this Knight of Cups is about, is like, your own ability to support, care for yourself, or be a part of a group of people that are supporting and caring for each other. Think commune, but not in like the hippies that don't bathe or shave, but more like the commune as in community of people supporting each other through something, right? I know there's been lots of like survival shows. I watched The Walking Dead for like a minute and then I don't know what happened that I lost interest. Um, but anyway, that was like a group of, I just watched the first maybe like 5 seasons or something like that. And I really liked it. And then I can't remember who died that I was like, no, I can't watch anymore. Maybe it was Herschel. When Herschel was beheaded, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. That was just hard. Um, but anyway, I did think it had a certain level of don't get attached to any character. And if y'all know, if you've watched The Walking Dead, you know what I'm talking about. You couldn't get attached to any character because you never know when they were going to get killed. Like, no. Anyway, the hardest one was the lady that had the baby in like the second season or something. Was like, I don't even remember what her name was, but I was blown away by that one. Okay, anyway, enough about The Walking Dead. But think about like any survival show like that, like, or even movie like that. Like everybody's got to have a skill set to bring to the table. So anywho, we could go down lots of paths of don't be competitive. Everybody's got something to offer. Yeah. Okay, we got oh, Cassandra. And Cassandra is about intuition. Well, yeah, this much Neptunian and air together. Um, you got to tune in. You got to feel in your body, and really be open to the messages that you're receiving. And really be just available for it. And if it feels like it is the most off the wall, illogical, what the hell, that's probably the message you should go with, to be honest with you. I can tell you that having been a blind nomad, I when the idea first popped into my mind, I was like, what? No, I can't do that. Um, and then I had all the excuses why I couldn't, right? Like obviously I didn't have a car, didn't drive, and I don't have a boyfriend who drives, and I don't have a friend who wants to join me on the journey. Everybody thought I was crazy. But it was still one of the best decisions that I ever made, was to get on the road and be a nomad. Like it taught me a lot about my own ability to, you know, pull it together when I needed to. So anywho, I feel like that's what this is like, you know, it's the thing that you feel like is the most out there and off the wall, and the thing that you resist or think that you can't do the most is the thing you should be doing, right? Is the thing that you can make an effort to pursue. And if you don't feel like you can, that's when you need to get like a support person. We talk about when we hire a coach, or even in, any kind of support practitioner, whether it's an astrologer, a coach, guide, whatever, is find somebody who's where you want to be. right? So when I hired my coach in 2019, I hired a coach who was a nomad, right? So, and the best part about it was is that she was a nomad who was also from the Midwest, and we had both nomaded our way out to California and eventually Arizona. And so it was super helpful to have somebody who was not only her own level of nomad, but she was from my region of the world. So she understood when you plop a Midwesterner into, the Pacific coast, it's a whole different life, right? And so she knew like all, the mental and the mindset and things like that. So find somebody who's where you want to be and get that person to support you or coach you to where you want to go. And they're gonna tell you all the victim-y bullshit that you got to let go of. And I think that's where a lot of us are right now, is we're terrified of the thing that we are meant to be here to do. And I'm in this too, so not to sound like I'm preaching at you, because if you've noticed, I've been posting some sayings on my community part of YouTube. I've also been posting them on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. But that's shit that I'm telling myself that day. So I'm right here with you. Okay, that's what I got for this Moon in Libra. Take care of yourselves out there. Be very gentle, yet allow yourself to be open to what messages you are receiving from God, source, universe. All right, I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye for now.